Welcome back to the show. I am Jesse Dollemore, sitting in, actually, as you can see, sitting in for David Pakman while he is away. Listen, over the course of the first few days of the year, when Congress was coming in and the new majority of Republicans took over, we witnessed the absolute debacle that was the election of Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. The 15 votes that it took, the day upon day upon day of trying to find out who was going to be Speaker of the House of Representatives. And Matt Gaetz led the effort. Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert and Chip Roy. There was a few bad actors, although it is kind of a lesson in the enemy of my enemy can also be my friend, even though they're certainly not friends. It was all chaotic and, kind of entertaining to watch. A lot of people will say that, it was bad for the institution and all of that. And I don't really take part in all of that. The more disorganized they are, the better it is for the country because the little damage they're able to do. But Matt Gaetz was one of these ringleaders here in this. And Ari Melber, I don't know why, but Ari Melber had Matt Gaetz on his show to talk about this. And they spent a lot of time. And this is the reason. Listen, I'm not going to say, be so critical that I would say you shouldn't have him on your show. But what good does it do? You're not going to get to the truth if you ask him questions. Matt Gaetz is going to systematically lie to you right to your face over and over and over in classic Matt Gaetz Republican fashion. So I don't understand it, but he was there and we need to talk about it. He was asked specifically about what secret deal was made with McCarthy to actually get him the votes to become Speaker. There's obviously a many-page, 40-page document outlining the rules and going forward some of the procedures that will govern this particular Congress. But there was also like a 3 or 4 page document that's in secret that no one knows the contents of exactly what was negotiated. And this is important for a number of different reasons. One, mainly because of the hypocrisy of the Republican Party and this particular flavor of Republican that acts like transparency in government is what we should be going for, when in actuality, they're not interested in that at all. Watch this appearance by Matt Gaetz on MSNBC.
So you mentioned personnel. That is something that has been reportedly written down and agreed to on the side, a sort of a side deal. Here's Congresswoman Mace on some of that.
We don't know what they got or didn't get. We haven't seen it. We don't have any idea what promises were made or what gentlemen's handshakes were made.
Let's get into this. Maybe we resolve it once and for all right here on live TV. You have a 55-page rules package. That part is public under the rules. We could put up reporting on that. We all know about that. Then you have reporting of a secret 3-page agreement. Reading here from Punchbowl, McCarthy and his allies hashed this out with the Freedom Caucus. It's got the other concessions, including Rules Committee, that's personnel, I believe, what you just referred to, and other things. Point blank, Congressman, have you or your staff seen this additional agreement in writing in any form?
Yeah, it took multiple forms. There was specifically a side-by-side sheet where we made offers to McCarthy. There were some offers he accepted, some he modified, some he rejected, just like you'd see in any negotiation. I could tell you that Thomas Massie, Chip Roy, Ralph Norman being on the Rules Committee would not have happened but for this negotiation. Folks like Representative Clyde, Representative Cloud, 2 great conservatives on the Appropriations Committee. That's a direct result of these negotiations. And this week, we'll be voting on Paul Gosar's legislation to end the COVID national emergency. That was a piece of policy that McCarthy committed to bring to the floor.
I'll let you continue, but the question where I'm going is, why keep that secret?
What are your questions? I'm happy to tell you any element. I'm actually quite proud of the work product, so it's no secret at all.
The product, though, I appreciate you here taking questions, but why not release the written product that exists and has currently been kept secret? And for context, you and others have talked about bringing transparency to government. It's one thing to hear it described, and another thing for the government, now the House Republican majority, to just release whatever this underlying material is. Here's a little bit of how you and some others have sounded about government secrecy.
The American people are tired of the swamp games.
We had the audacity to want to know what in the world was going on behind closed doors.
Why not commit to releasing the written agreement or working to get it released tonight?
Yeah, I have no objection to that.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's no answers there. Well, we agreed to some things were agreed to, other things were not agreed to. Well, there you go, all transparent. I don't know that there was any efficacy, that nothing was gained from this other than, yeah, he's a liar, and we know he's a liar. What we do know, though, is that Kevin McCarthy did make a deal. And as a result of that deal, some of those names that he mentioned and he rattled off very quickly, they're some of the most radical in the Congress. Thomas Massie, him and his family taking pictures with their AR-15s. Lauren Boebert on very important committees, on the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. Paul Gosar is on that committee. Marjorie Taylor Greene is on that committee. Not only is Marjorie Taylor Greene on that committee, she's on Homeland Security. She's on the COVID Origins Committee. All of this should bring alarm bells ringing in your head about what kind of dirty, darkroom, backroom deals Kevin McCarthy made with these maniacs. Andrew Clyde, the man who said that the insurrection against the United States of America was just like a normal tourist visit. Chip Roy, Ted Cruz's former chief of staff. This is where we are in our Congress. This is our Congress. They act like they want to get so much things done, yet all they're going to be doing is focus on investigations. They're not going to work with the Biden administration to pass anything useful or reasonable for the American people, because that's not on the agenda. Owning the libs is on the agenda. Cruelty is on the agenda. Because they know, look, they're going to pass bills and brag about the bills they passed that are going to be radical in nature, that have no chance of even getting through the Senate, not to mention getting to the president's desk for a signature. We need to play for them I'm just a bill, yeah, I'm only a bill, that the Schoolhouse Rock, to re-educate them on how a bill is made. That their role as legislators is to write and pass legislation for the express purpose of getting to the president's desk for signature. Instead, this is what we get. Very disheartening.
One of our sponsors today is Mosh. Whether you're at the gym, on the go, between meals, Mosh protein bars are the smart snack to keep your body and brain fueled. There's 6 delicious flavors like blueberry almond crunch, peanut butter chocolate crunch, cookie dough crunch. Each Mosh bar comes packed with 12 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, but also important nutrients like vitamin B, vitamin D, omega-3s, and only 1 gram of sugar and 160 calories. I've tried tons of different protein bars. Really, you can't beat the taste and the texture of Mosh. I love these. My favorite is the chocolate crunch. Simple, satisfying. Now that I'm back in the gym, I'll snack on one of these after a workout. Mosh is also a mission-driven company with a portion of all proceeds donated to support women's brain health research through the Women's Alzheimer's Movement at Cleveland Clinic. Mosh is giving my audience 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack. Go to moshlife.com/Pacman. The link is down below.